Today I fucked up by not understanding what my physical therapist meant when she said 4 pounds. So this didn't happen today, technically it happened last week. I am in physical therapy for a neurological disorder. The other day my physical therapist was teaching me a bunch of new exercises that I hadn't tried before. At one point she handed me a rubber ball and said 4 pounds. So I assumed that I was supposed to pound the ball into the ground 4 times. Which I did, or tried to, at least. Turns out, the ball weighs 4 pounds. And if you smash it into the ground, it does not bounce, it's fairly loud, and it does startle your physical therapist. In my defense, brain fog is a huge problem for me and also I'm pretty stupid. Woman shrugging, too long didn't read. My physical therapist handed me a rubber ball and said 4 pounds. I assumed that meant I was supposed to pound it into the ground 4 times. Turns out 4 pounds is how much it weighs. Edit. Thanks everyone for all your responses and for the awards. I watched a lady sit down at a laptop with a keyboard and mouse attached. Proceeded to touch the screen tablet style. No ma'am, you have to use the mouse. Picks up the mouse and starts touching the screen with it. O_O. I'm sorry, but I lolled. I find it hilarious when someone interprets instructions too literally, because usually the person who gave them the instructions gets more embarrassed. It reminds me of the story of the grocery store cashier who was trying to help a woman who was having trouble paying with her card. She kept swiping it the wrong way. So the clerk said, strip facing the window, meaning the magnetic strip on the card should face the front of the store. You can guess how the woman interpreted it. Amelia Badelia goes shopping. Lol, that's amazing. I'm currently doing vestibular therapy for a concussion so I can totally understand what happened in your brain. I've been in a fog for a month. Vestibular? They won't let you into the actual building or something? I just imagine her watching this unfold and thinking he needs a different kind of therapist. I was at physical therapy for a shoulder injury years ago. I think I was 18. My PT asked me if I was able to ice my shoulder in my dorm and I said I was because a bag of frozen peas fits inside my mini fridge freezer. I was trying to add that it was difficult because they had thawed and frozen so many times it was hard to form it to my shoulder because they had lost their shape. What I said instead was, it's not so easy now. I left them out and they got mushy. When I refroze them they lost their individual penis. Once the words left my mouth I realized what I had said and wanted to die. I am a lady and I was raised very conservative and my PT was an attractive older man. He just about died laughing. I almost didn't go back. Today I fucked up by trying to plump my lips using hot sauce. Happened this afternoon. So, as anyone who has ever wasted dollar on lip plumper knows, one of the chief ingredients in them is spicy peppers. The peppers effectively irritate the delicate skin of one's bilabials, both giving them a redder hue and slight puffiness. I thought, why not bypass the middleman and go straight to head office? And went to my fridge. Now, I have a surprisingly large collection of literally inedible, to most, hot sauces because my daughter thinks it's hilarious to stuff my Christmas stocking with one every year. They range from names like Ass Reaper to Frostbite with varying levels of funny monikers and Scoville levels. I decided to go with the big guns and grabbed one called Magma. This hot sauce has a layer of chili oil sitting atop vinegar that you shake up to dilute the chili. The chili oil has a Scoville of a blistering 1 million, but once diluted after shaking it's still a whopping 500,000. That registers into the hottest levels of hot sauce. Okay, so I give it a rudimentary shake and pour a few drops onto a napkin and pat it on the outside of my lips. I can stand, and do like, heat in my food, so the initial heat wasn't that bad. I decided to put a little more on, but on the inside of my lips too. What could that hurt? In for a penny, in for a pound, right? Right after I did this I jump in my car and drive to get some sterling silver I needed for an order of jewelry I'm working on. As I was driving there my lips were really starting to tingle, but there were other sensations too. My chin and the skin up to and including my nose felt weird and kind of numb. It wasn't completely unpleasant, so I wasn't too worried. The lips felt buzzy and I could feel the heat, but it had yet to reach its full potential. I got to the store and, cause I'm not an asshole in a pandemic, I put on my mask and sauntered in. Now, I don't know why the act of breathing into the closed space of the mask created a thermal reaction akin to a nuclear meltdown, but halfway through my transaction I was starting to feel extremely uncomfortable. Like, barely being able to talk uncomfortable. I rushed out to my car and grabbed the first thing I thought of to cool my lips. Lip balm. Big mistake. There was mint in it and it now inflamed my beleaguered lips even worse. In a panic I decide to drive to a grocery store and maybe buy some yogurt to bury my lips into. Halfway to the nearest grocery I remember there is an open box of chocolate-covered graham wafers in the back seat of the car. I had read somewhere that sugar helps temper spicy and thought maybe the dairy in the chocolate might help too. Careen into the parking lot of HomeSense and practically kill a couple people walking while I'm trying to park like there's a 90% off sale or something. I leapt out and with the doors open I grabbed the wafers from the back seat and started rubbing a couple chocolate crackers all over my lips, moaning disturbingly, while said people I nearly killed give me death glares as well as looks that read something like fear because I was clearly a crazy person. The chocolate felt immensely cooling, so I decided to just leave the thick, bow today I fucked up, brown layer on my face seeing as I had a mask on and nobody would see me anyway. I really do not recommend this DIY lip plumper, or any of the commercial ones either. One burns your face off and the other is a waste of money. Too long didn't read, heated my lips off with 500,000 to 1 million Scoville hot sauce trying to DIY lip plumper. Missed out on the epic too long didn't read, tried to give myself homemade lip plumping, ended up giving myself a dirty Sanchez. This is a hilarious story. You had me Lamau. Thank you. D, did it work? Maybe a little, but 11/10 would not recommend. Ha. I have a problem, my lips always get dehydrated and it hurts. A few days ago I bought a Neos lip balm. I thought it had the same aroma and ingredients as the previous one I bought, but no, this one had mint. Now, if you live in Mexico you have to eat spicy every day, or not eat at all. So, now I have to endure burning of my lips every day. Guy laughed. ETW, it's refreshing to read such a well-written story here. I hope you have fully recovered. Those chocolate grahams were surprisingly effective, lasting and delicious. Who knew they'd come in handy as first aid? Today I fucked up by not having my messages hidden on my iPad. So I teach at a Catholic school. I teach physics and am in charge of robotics club. At robotics club we were talking about the use of robots in disasters and I decided to pull up a design on the projector and see if they could guess what function the robot served in disaster relief. So I pull up the design and tell them a little about how it functions and let them start figuring it out when I hear a bunch of kids start giggling. I look up to see what's funny and notice a text from lesbian Regina, my GF's name in my contacts. In her phone I'm Katie Heron, saying she found the dildo. Unfortunately I didn't have my messages hidden until you tap them. So my entire class saw a text from my GF about finding our dildo at a Catholic school. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before a parent complains. Too long didn't read, projected my iPad to the class, got a message about a dildo from my GF. Class saw the text. Put this one in the burn book and never forget. My wife is a primary school teacher and she was telling the children about workplace safety. One of the kids had asked her about how they clean the windows of high-rise buildings. In front of the class, while using the interactive whiteboard she opened Google Images and searched for men in harnesses. It didn't go as planned. Lamau. I blame the school for not having a good enough search filter to prevent that situation. Oh man, that's hilarious, but also I hope you don't get in trouble. Embarrassed smiley face, please send updates. Just bring your dog named Dido. Stupid autocorrect. I think you'll be fine. Catholic school kids have a good sense of humor. If it's anything like the Catholic school I went to, the administration won't find it so funny. Even though laws prevented them from specifically discriminating against LGBTQ+ people, the policy of the administration was that if someone was being bullied because they were LGBTQ+, the teachers weren't supposed to step in. Thankfully it wasn't enforced, and most teachers weren't homophobic, but the fact that the policy even exists is a problem.